guys, and welcome to another episode of Pretty Little Liars, the after show here on the Stream.TV Fan Show Network. We're live from Hollywood. My name is Sinead de Vries, and I'm joined by my pretty little talkers. We're all ready to talk about everything episode 4 this week on Pretty Little Liars. Over here on my left.
Hi guys, Ashley Mova. So much juicy drama and gossip to talk about tonight. So excited.
And over here on my right.
Hey everybody, I am Meghan Lamontagne. Thank you once again for tuning in, and there's so much to talk about this week, and I'm so excited to dive in.
And very, very festive tonight.
Hi guys, Stephanie Gray here. That's my festive bow. Stephanie Gray, yeah, you guys, tonight's episode had so much in it. I feel like things are finally starting to glue together. So I'm excited to talk about it too.
Oh yeah, I think that the excitement is definitely being felt worldwide in Liar Nation.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we're gonna unite tonight and start talking about everything that happened. But before we get started, we just want to take a moment to say thank you so much to everybody who has been continuing to tweet us. I had somebody watched the show, and she wrote on my Instagram, and she was like, I don't have a Twitter, but I have questions.
Aww, that's so great.
Yeah, so it just shows that, we're all really in this together, and we want to celebrate you guys, too, for being such great Pretty Little Liars fans. So we're going to start highlighting PLL fan sites, and we're going to start talking about you guys on the show every week so we can really recognize all the great stuff that you guys are coming up with.
Yes, so if you're a fan site out there and you want to be featured on next week's episode, tweet us using the hashtag PLLAS, and we're excited to get to know more of the people involved with the site and all of that for next week.
Because then during the show, we're going to call these sites out, right? Like during our next show, we're going to be like, we love this site. You guys are so cool. So we'll straight up give you promotion and
you guys have been doing such a fabulous job sending in all your theories, all your questions, and all your comments. So I think this will be really exciting for us to actually address them more formally.
Yes.
PLL unite.
You Liars unite.
PLL
starting
Nation.
right now. We're all going to unite so we can all talk about this crazy, crazy episode.
Yes.
So let's get right into it, you guys. Let's talk about what we loved about this episode. I think there's a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
And so this whole setup coming off of last week's episode, we talked about how it kind of got off to a slow start. And this time I feel like they really, really...
It was totally different this
Yeah,
time.
they really tried to get us caught up to speed, which I loved.
Starting off with a bang, something I loved, Lucas coming back. You little sneaky Lucas. I know he has something up his sleeve. He hides behind this cute little smile. And I'm so obsessed with Hanna. You are so sneaky, Lucas. And you were talking to Mona.
Yeah.
You were talking to Mona. You're obviously sneaky. We were talking about this before the show, that he's going to play both sides of the fence. I love it. I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And stemming off of that, a big positive I had about the show, I feel like this is the first episode of the season where things are actually starting to come together and we're starting to get answers.
Right.
So one of the first things I noticed with Lucas and Mona, Lucas had no idea that Allie's story wasn't true. The fact that, he really thought she was abducted.
Yeah.
And so that is a huge red flag, meaning he is not and maybe the A team has, is just a little minions just trying to take
They're not
Alison
connected.
down.
They're not connected.
Exactly.
The Mona Army is not the A team. Absolutely not. My theory, honestly, at this point, which I loved, that I had this theory. I rewatched the episode from last week, and I had this theory that all Mona wants is to get Alison the hell out of Rosewood.
I know.
She doesn't want her back. She wanted her gone in the first place, so that she could find a new queen bee. She literally hates her that much that she just wanted her out. She just wanted her gone.
And this dynamic of Hanna all of a sudden turning into evil Hanna.
Yes.
And then at the end there, she was contemplating in the dressing room, we all thought, whether or not to steal. And then I think she did, right? She stole some clothes.
She walked out with it.
Let this be a PSA. Do not steal clothes, guys. Do not do it.
No.
As cute as the outfit may be, don't follow in Hannah's footsteps.
Let me just put this out there. You guys can shoplift as much as you want, but you always get caught.
But this kind of is showing that Hanna
Do you have experience with this, Sinead?
No, I'm not speaking from experience, you guys. I'm just saying based on my knowledge of Pretty Little Liars.
No, I know, right?
The badass one over here.
But
Thanks
this
for doing
really
research.
does connect into Hanna kind of becoming obsessed with Mona again,
Yeah.
like their old
Yes.
relationship. That's what they used to do together. They used to go to the mall and steal clothes before I think that they got caught, so they stopped. But this was their thing that they used to do to become popular at school. They would go to like the mall and steal stuff.
Season
and
1.
It's coming back again.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
becoming, I feel like she's wanting to be friends with Mona again,
Yeah.
weirdly enough.
I think that we're really going to see Hanna. I had this conversation with a PLL fan just I think yesterday or today, and she wrote on our video from last week, and she said, "What was the whole point of Hanna asking Emily, like in the car, how was it like to come out? Remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
that
right,
shit.
yes.
And I really sat and I thought, and I was thinking, Hanna doesn't know who she is.
Right.
Yep.
Once Ali left, Hanna assumed Ali's position.
Right.
So now it's been years since she's felt like Hanna. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
she's been
saying?
playing
Right,
Allie,
right.
right? So
Right.
she's been playing a part essentially this whole time, and now Allie's back, and now she's like lost.
So
She's
now
like,
she
"Where am
needs
I?"
she needs to get back to something that she remembers.
Yeah.
And for her,
It's dark hair.
shoplifting, It's dark hair. It's going back to her crazy ways. It's getting back to where she feels like herself.
Yeah.
And I really, really love that they're playing that storyline, because my first thought when she asked Emily, "Why'd you come out?" Remember, we laughed. We were like, "That was so
Yeah.
random."
I know.
Right, it was
know.
random.
The
but now
more,
it's
the more
making
that we
sense.
thought about it, I mean,
making sense.
I think we're really going to see her struggle to find herself.
Okay,
Yeah, I
another thing I really, really, really liked was that whole, two scenes. Okay. One scene was with the cut on the leg, Allie's cut on the leg.
Yes.
And then she got all emotional because in the back of my head this whole time I've been thinking, I wonder if Allie is A, and she made up this whole entire thing to cover for
Right.
something else. And now I'm like, no, there was for sure someone really after Allie. So that cemented that for me.
That is true, but let's talk about that scene when Alison was texting Emily and she put
Yeah.
A, but then erased it and went to Alison. So was she just doing that because she thought, oh, no, I can't
Yeah.
write A?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I
was
didn't
it
really get
a
that.
little bit of
No, I
foreshadowing?
thought it was Ali basically kind of just telling us like I'm
she's
A,
A.
because that she sends the text messages all the time, and maybe she was showing that I'm done with this. I'm trying to put it behind me, so she wrote her actual name.
No.
But they can't do that
on.
because
I
then the
agree.
season would be
That's
over.
what I think.
That's what I
No.
thought too, but it's not. That's what they want us to think. But
They
really,
want us to
they
think
can't
that.
do that.
Ashley,
at the
I
end of
agree
the
with you.
season.
I agree with Ashley. No, because I mean, whatever. I'm not saying who's A and who's not, but I really think that was like trouble because what am I trying to say?
Like a personal struggle, like that kind of thing?
Yeah, because remember way back in the very first pilot episode when the girls got that first text message when they were outside of the funeral home when they were like, "Hey," like it seemed like they were unfamiliar with that signature. So I feel like if they were used to Alison signing her text that way,
Right.
then it wouldn't have been.
So that's what
No,
Sinead said. Sinead's like,
Yeah.
say what you told me.
Yeah,
on the
well, no,
commercial.
because I don't technically agree, because I feel like when they first started getting A messages, they started talking about how it was possibly Allison. They were like, is it like,
they're
remember?
like maybe she's not dead.
Yeah,
and this
because
is actually her.
so then it's like you could play it both sides. It's perhaps, I mean, this is just devil's advocate, but perhaps they were used to her saying A, and then
True.
okay.
you know, and then Allie
makes
wrote
sense.
it and was like, oh, hell, I can't write that.
Guys, could you imagine if like just in real life, anytime I texted you, I'd be like, "Hey, you guys want to meet up for dinner?" M. Megan. Like no one does that. You know what I
They
mean?
do it on Gossip Girl. Hey, girl.
In the
Hey.
end.
Yeah,
They
thank
do.
you.
You know what?
They also do it on E! News, you guys. Juliana Rancic
But-
is G.
Fast forward to like tonight's episode that you were talking about that you loved the cut on the leg.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought in my mind it registered that Ali was cutting herself. That's what I thought.
they-
That she
because
was
they
just
said
like she
that.
didn't know how to deal with
Yeah.
the all the stress that she was going through,
Right.
so she
Yeah.
cut herself. So that would
'Cause
still
Hanna-
connect to her being A, guys, because she did it herself.
And then Hanna was like, who did that to you? And then she was like, or did you do that yourself? And then I was
Yeah.
like,
Although
split personality? That's a theory
Yeah.
some people have come up with.
Although
right?
I felt like tonight there was a lot of foreshadowing in the Hastings household because of the rat
gosh.
poison, because of the pills she found, and also the knife when Spencer cut herself.
yeah.
And when I saw that knife and the cut, I immediately went
Thought of the
back and
leg.
remembered
So did I.
the
That's crazy
the
that you
scene
said
in
that.
the hospital.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
right,
crazy
right,
that you
right.
said that, because that's
Foreshadowing.
literally, my mind went to the exact same place. And there is secrets among secrets in the
Oh,
Hastings
yeah.
household, and I just can't wait. They're slowly coming out, and I love that they're finally. Oh my gosh!
How much do you love it, Sinead? She loves it. How much do you love it?
I love it. No, seriously. Seriously, you guys, I really, really love that they're finally somebody is talking in the Hastings
I know,
household.
I know.
Yes.
But like, what about
So we figured-
Spencer's mom?
Well, Spencer's mom, I think, has put the pieces together, as of all of us, that basically Spencer's dad, Mr. Hastings, was covering for Spencer because somehow Mrs. D was going to try to frame Spencer and say that Spencer killed the mysterious girl in the grave, right? So that's what we clarified, which we've been leading up to for the first 3 episodes, and now we
Right.
finally find out
But I'm
the
just kind
connection.
of confused a little bit as to why, if Mrs. D has her daughter back, Alison, like, why is she so set on telling on Spencer?
I don't know.
that
I
she
don't
killed
know.
This
I don't know
random
either.
girl?
Get that.
Like, no offense, but who cares? Like, it's
I
a
know.
random girl. Just like let your life move on and be happy that your daughter's home.
Maybe
Well, Spencer said something in the episode. Correct me if I'm wrong. She said something in the episode. She said she was talking to Alison, and she said, she was trying to set me up.
Right,
So,
yes.
So maybe.
So maybe she was setting her up because
she already knows who. She knows who's behind it. Is that what you're getting at?
because
Oh,
Spencer
right,
knows
right.
who's behind
No,
it.
Mrs. D knows.
I get what she's saying.
Wait, I don't
Mrs.
get it.
D
No, I don't
knows
get
who killed the girl, because obviously the girl that's in the grave is not Alison. It's not Alison. So now Mrs. D knows, or Mrs. D knew, whatever. Mrs. D knew that there was somebody after somebody. Like whether it was who hit Alison over the head, which obviously she knows because we saw her.
She saw
watching
it
it
happen.
happen. But I mean, there's a lot of things when we're not going to get answers from Mrs. D because
Right.
she's dead.
It could make sense that she's trying to point the finger at Spencer because of
trying to
two
cover up.
reasons. She's trying to protect someone that she loves. She knows who did it. She's trying to protect someone that she cares about. And maybe she's trying to hurt Spencer's dad because
he wants to hurt their
Yeah,
entire family
exactly.
all
because
the time.
because the dad was threatening. I'm literally only explaining this because I didn't really get it, so I'm like, I want the world to get it in case you're all confused like I was, but maybe you all actually understand what's going on, and I'm the only one.
No,
but
you're not
moral
the
of the story is that the dad, Mr. Hastings, was threatening Mrs. D, saying, "I'll break up your marriage
Yes,
if you go to
exactly.
the cops," saying it was Spencer. But
Right.
then now it doesn't matter anymore. Sinead explained you guys all explained this all to me. But now it doesn't matter anymore because basically they're already divorced. So
Right. So
you're welcome.
That's just a whole cluster. But do we think Mr. Hastings did it? Do we think that was the answer, that Mr. Hastings killed Mrs. D?
At this
Yes.
point,
do.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
That is such a cop
I
out.
don't know.
We know someone in the Hastings house did because of all the evidence.
Yeah.
but,
Right. I think that's what we're led to
Led to
believe
believe.
right now,
Led
which
to believe.
kind of sounds pretty accurate to me right now. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds pretty accurate.
I think it sounds pretty accurate. Other thing that I liked, or I'm unsettled about this. Tell me what you guys think.
Okay.
I think it's foreshadowing with Adderall dealer there and Spencer. All of a sudden they're like washing dishes together,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's it. Like, if I was Toby, I'd be like,
Yeah. Oh my god.
Playing house?
That's
Yeah.
a negative territory for
Yeah.
me.
Is this negative?
No, we're going to get to the negatives.
Okay, sorry,
we're
never
going to
mind.
get to the negatives
Okay.
in just a second. But I just want to remind everybody out there who's on Twitter and wherever you are watching the PLLAS show that you guys can tweet in throughout this entire show that we're up here, and we're going to get to all of your tweets. And we just got one that we have to read because
Oh my
it's great.
gosh, am I?
Paige, we see you, Paige. We see you. Paige tweets in, I haven't even watched the show yet I'm watching the Pretty Little Liars after show Extreme Spoilers.
I know.
Love
we should
it.
spoiler
Spoilers.
alerts before you ever watch this show.
Yes,
ever.
but I mean, thank you
Thanks for watching, Paige.
We appreciate it,
We're
Paige.
not going to
Yeah.
stop telling you what happened, but
Maybe it will just enhance the episode that much
Exactly.
more because we're giving you a little inside
Yes,
scoop, you know?
yes.
That's how we do
that's
here.
right.
Honestly, it's so confusing when you watch these episodes that maybe it's nice, confusing for me.
No, I'm confused.
Like, maybe
I'm
it's
confused all
good.
the time.
We like preview it, and then they're like, "Well, this is the confusing
Story
stuff to
time.
watch out for."
yeah, I mean, there was a lot that happened in this episode, definitely. There was a lot of good stuff.
Yes.
But there was some little bit of weird confusion as well, so let's get into that.
Hannah's hair.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
didn't like it.
Like, I mean, she.
How long have you been holding that in, Stephanie?
So long. You don't
I'm
even
like,
get
let's get into the bad
accurate.
stuff. Hannah's hair.
Because nobody's even doing. Is that like a trend that I missed out on? I didn't think people are doing pink on the bottom, but I've not seen black.
I've always wanted to do pink.
Yeah,
on the bottom.
I mean,
my mom's
I'd be
probably
cute.
watching this right now, being like, "You have not, honey." But no, I've always like secretly wanted to do a little bit of pink underneath
That'd
the blonde.
be cute. But I mean, the black, like. She went to the salon acting as if she was going to come out with some like pitch black, like straight hair.
Oh,
Hannah,
yeah.
you look exactly the same.
It does. You have to like get a good angle to even see the
I
highlights.
can see though that they were trying to bring out like, oh, she's becoming edgier. She's getting the black low lights. I don't even know what to call
What is
them.
that?
I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know.
low light, really low.
That is like a strand.
It's a very low light.
It is a strand of evil, which is probably they probably thought that far too. They were like, she's not that evil. Let's just give her a strand.
Let's make her have black hair. Then
But
she'll
yeah, I
really be
mean
bad.
just the whole thing that she's changing, all that stuff. But
Yes.
I definitely agree with you guys. They could have done a little bit more, you know, or just shown like. I mean, these girls are seniors in high school now. That whole shoplifting thing happened in the first episode, in the first 5 minutes. Like, let's push the envelope. Let's like these girls have been through so much. Like, you know,
I know.
they're kind of capable of a hell of a lot more than
Yeah.
dyeing a strand of your hair.
Exactly. Something else I thought was a positive before we get into the negatives. I don't know if we've already dived in there, but
It's
honestly, it already happened.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just thinking about this. I love the scene with Aria, and she's just sort of freaking herself and psyching herself out with watching the funeral over and over and over again.
Right.
And I feel like it's been a few episodes since Pretty Little Liars has actually made me scared.
Oh
you know,
my
and
gosh.
that just hearing that woman sing over and over and over again. She had a beautiful voice,
Creepy.
but
And then
creepy.
Shauna sitting up. I loved it.
I loved it.
And one of our people that tweets us all the time, I think your Twitter handle might be Blaze, I think her name is, just tweeted us before the show and said that Aria is definitely next at Radley, which I totally agree with. She's driving herself crazy. She's watching this like funeral tape, like thinking about death.
I predicted that with her little bug eyes when she was doing the crazy eyes all the
did,
time.
you
and
did.
I was like, she's gonna be
she's next.
Yes. So thank you, Blaze, the Twitter handler.
Yes, thank
we
you,
love
Blaze.
you. I think her Twitter handle is at Lindsay alone or something. But thank you. We love your tweet.
We love you guys. Seriously though, we forgive you for that positive. We forgive you for that positive because I love that scene too. But in that scene, I also did not like something, and that's the fact that Aria didn't stay the night.
Yes.
I know.
Gosh. She peeked open the door. I thought she was going to hesitate and stay. And I was like, yes, Aria. Then she left. What are you doing? He even gave you a sweater that he knew you loved.
I thought it was weird also that Ezra randomly was like, hey, we're reconnecting our love, but by the way, I'm getting tired or over it or something, so let's stop playing to go to bed. I didn't get...
He was acting like a normal boy.
A normal
He was
guy.
acting like an everyday boy.
Stephanie, that is what a normal guy. We don't know what you're used to, honey bunch, but that is what a normal guy does. And I feel like that was so good of him, you know, and like not to pressure her, like that relationship.
Yeah.
Honestly, Pretty Little Liars, like they do such a good job creating real relationships.
Right.
Yes.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows, especially when your girlfriend killed a girl. I mean, let's be real.
Right? Yes.
Speaking of no sunshines and rainbows, something else I hated, Spencer telling
Andrew?
No, Spencer telling Allie that, I think my dad killed your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Are you crazy? Like, why on earth would you?
But maybe,
Especially
honestly,
Allie.
maybe like when Alison said, did you think your dad killed it? Maybe Spencer has come to the realization that everybody's kind of like onto that or...
Yeah, but she's going to twist it now. Allie's going to use that against Spencer.
Maybe if Allie's bad, which I hope is the case, but it also could have been bonding Allie and Spencer because now they both have this thing in common of like, our parents are killers.
Which is kind of what she said, right?
is exactly
she was
what
like,
she said.
it's got to be hard thinking your mom is capable of that.
I know
right?
how that feels.
I know how that feels. Welcome to the club. Our parents hate us.
So that happened. More dislikes. Okay, now can we talk about the fact that Spencer and the Adderall dealer are hanging out?
Yes.
The Adderall dealer?
I forget his name. Back.
Oh, he's not an Adderall dealer, first of all. Wasn't he her
he
drug?
was the one.
He was like her drug therapist.
I'm like, okay.
He was
I'm
like
sorry,
on
that
the
was
debate
drug
team with her or
therapy.
something, but can I just say?
He is mighty fine.
Ooh,
He
boy.
got cuter. You guys thought he got cuter.
So cute. He must have been hitting the gym.
Ashley's like, I think he's been working out.
Yeah,
or
he looks like
something.
he's been working out.
On his
He knew he had a
hiatus.
reoccurring role, and he was like, got it.
He's like, sure.
Yeah, he was hot. Okay, so now that we've gotten through some stuff in this episode, let's
sweating.
get to you guys because You guys' questions are so good. So let's get right to it, girls. Brianna Madison writes, "Hi, I love your show." Thank you.
Thank you, Brianna.
My question is, that was so lame. Okay, my question is, what do you think is the reason for Aria doing the shh on the opening of the show? So I want to say right away that this is kind of going along with this whole Aria is A theory.
Oh. I thought it's because in the beginning of the show they were trying to make Aria the star, and now they're like, don't want her to be the star anymore, but they still just have that from the opening.
Oh.
I mean, I will
know.
definitely agree with that, Stephanie. I think you bring up a good point because I feel like no, but for real, you do. Because Aria was kind of like, she's just gotten back to Rosewood, there was a lot of emphasis. She was kind of the first one of the girls that had her whole family introduced. She was making out with Ezra in the bathroom. Like, there was all of this stuff.
Yeah.
There was all of this stuff happening with her. So I kind of thought, when I first started watching Pretty Little Liars years ago, that
she was
the basis of the story was going to be Aria Montgomery and friends.
But seeing how torn up she's been about Shana's death, I mean, if she was really A, how could she be? Because she's too innocent to do those terrible things, so I don't know. But I like the question.
I definitely like the question. I think you guys are good.
I've thought about that, actually.
You're looking at pictures, too. I mean, Aria's in the front of pictures. Aria's doing this thing. She's always the one doing this thing, so very good point. Yeah. All right, Haley Campbell writes, "Can Emerson please just happen right now? These teasers scenes are killing me. Is it a possibility, or do the producers just hate us?"
Oh my gosh, I totally don't think this is going to happen. I think even their relationship back when it originally happened, I think it was just kind of almost Ali just messing with Emily. Like, she knew that Emily had feelings for her, but she really wasn't interested in her, and it was kind of just like exciting and fun for her to be Ali and annoying and mess with her feelings. I don't think it's actually going to happen, and even if it does, that it's like kind of a joke that Ali's playing.
I think that a lot of people agree with you, Ashley, because I feel like Ali feeds on vulnerability and just seeing that side of people. She likes to make people feel that way. What do you guys think?
And seeing as Emily put her foot down towards Alison this episode, which I thought was amazing. She was like, not gonna take this bitch.
This is the last time.
This is the
no
last
more,
time.
That I lied.
Do you guys kind of feel like everyone's kind of getting to that point with
Yes.
Alison?
I'm so glad. I'm so glad because they just completely agree with everything she says, and it was so refreshing to see Emily finally put her in her place a little bit. I love that.
Loved it too.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on. Ooh, a theory. I love theories. Bethany Ray writes, PLL theory, hashtag PLL theory. Ali was harassing Courtney as A. Ali has been A all along.
Well, it's possible.
Okay, so I think Courtney is a part of the books.
Okay.
Courtney, I don't believe has ever been introduced in the television series. I did not read the books, but from reading other things, Courtney was Ali's twin in the book.
That's correct.
That was
Yes.
that was the twins thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was it. In the books, and in the end of the books, it ended up being like they had switched roles or something like that. Crazy. The whole thing with Ali being A all along, though, I think that is, we kind of talked about that last week a little bit. Definitely, Alison, I said, let's not count her out, you guys. There's a lot of stuff still going on. She's holding a lot of secrets. She's telling a lot of lies.
Right.
She's right. She's back. She's like, healthy and finally back with her family and friends. And the first thing she starts doing is lying. And that's a huge red coat flag.
But even
Like, I like that. Did you guys catch that?
yes,
I've been thinking about that one all week. You guys.
I love that. Waiting for the moment.
I planned them. Okay, anyways, let's go. I'm sorry.
Well, wait. The only thing about that is that if it was Ali as A this whole time, the only hitch in that. Oh, well, no. I was going to say the only hitch is someone's still after Ali because of the head and because of the scar, but then I'm like, well, maybe she's just crazy and did it herself.
Well,
or
there's a possibility that Alison, somebody's been out after Alison. You guys, I'm going to be able to talk tonight, okay? This is going to happen. Somebody has been after Alison. It's a potential that it's been happening all along, and maybe she created A. Somebody tweeted me that too. Maybe she created A as a way to help deal with somebody that's been after her for years before all of this really started happening.
Right.
And then once the person who kidnapped Ali got her out of the way, they started terrorizing her friends. I mean, there's so many theories.
There is. There's so many.
All right. Hey, Tambasco. I know that name.
We remember you.
Caitlin Tambasco writes, who is your favorite liar? Ooh,
I like that
question.
That's so great.
All right, Ashley, who's
Ooh,
it?
the pressure, girl. Okay, I'm kind of torn. I want to say Aria, kind of just based off of the acting alone in itself. I don't know. It's hard to say off like right on the spot, but I'm gonna go with Aria.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Aria.
Okay, all right.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm like, don't ask me yet.
I know, you both are like, answer the question. That's a tough one, you guys. It's so hard because I feel like taking ourselves out of the story and putting ourselves in the minds of the creators for a second, they did such a great job with really touching on very specific personalities that are different enough from one another that they can really help create a story around how different types of people would react to very scary situations. With that being said, that's not me trying to ditch your question, but with that being said, I would definitely say that it's probably Spencer. It's probably Spencer only because she is the least like myself, I guess. So it's almost as if I admire her reactions and I admire the way that she kind of deals with everything.
Yeah.
Because she's not like me.
I'm
at all.
actually going to go ahead and take my answer back and also go with Spencer. I know it sounds so awful, but I just think, I know, I just can't help myself. Like, I just think that her character has so many things that she's dealt with, like being a drug addict, being Miss Perfect, being, you know, from this like family that she has to live up to this standard. And I love her acting, being in a romance, exactly. I just love how she has like so many things coming together at once.
Yeah, I was gonna jump on the Spencer bandwagon too, but also I do love Hanna. Not so much this season. I mean, I love her still, but she's, you know, I love her in past seasons because I think she's hilarious and I love her fashion, and I think she's probably the one I most like out of all the liars.
Blonde and blonde. There you go.
There you go.
Well, now she has a strand of black, Megan.
She does. I'm gonna have to come in next week with, you know, my dark
do
side.
not do that. You guys tweet to Megan, tell her not to dye a strand of her hair black.
I won't.
All right, you guys, this question's taking forever.
Okay, all right, I'll make
Stephanie,
this snappy.
who is it?
Okay, in terms of who I like to watch Spencer. I feel like her acting is always believable. She never says a line hardly ever that I'm like laughing.
Yeah.
And Aria is the most unlike me because she's just a very together person. And so I like kind of admire her because she's always like so level-headed. She's like, my family's nuts and this isn't a healthy relationship. So I like how she like thinks about things.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think you have it together, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And now she's psycho, if that makes you feel better.
It does. Great.
Guys,
Alrighty, Regina George.
Love
Regina
it.
George!
Regina George, you can't sit with us.
You can't sit with us.
I love it.
Regina George writes, Allie, you better, somebody else say it,
Bleep.
F Mona up, and that's T.
Wait.
What? I had to do the what because I feel like that's the way you just wrote that. Like, Allie, you better not F that girl up, and that is T.
Oh, is that
What's
when
T?
she slapped her in the preview?
Oh,
yes,
my
I love
God.
it.
What is T? Is
I
that
don't know
like
what
some
tea is.
slang
Is
that the
I don't know
kids
what
are
tea is.
using
Are
these
you
days?
kids using
Let's
that
pick it
these
up.
days?
I'm all about
tea.
tea.
I think tea is like the end of a meal, maybe. I don't know.
And that's tea? Like that's it? It's done?
That's it.
Regina, please. I mean, your name's probably not Regina, but if your name is Regina George, that is awesome.
I love
but
it.
But please tell us what T means. But yeah, that preview, girl,
we loved
we are
that.
on the same page with you.
Yes.
And I love that they cut it off right before Allie was about to hit her back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Catfight.
Janelle's talking writes, do you ladies find yourselves near tears when something is almost revealed?
I find myself sweating profusely, and I find myself getting goosebumps, and I start like moving a lot,
Yeah,
like near
I
the
move
edge
a
of
lot.
my seat.
Yes. We're all sitting here. We're just sort of not looking at each other. Our eyes are glued to the television. And
But if you get your eyes teared up, that is passion, and I
Oh, yes.
like that.
Yeah. Well, I think that just to kind of go with your question a little bit, that part where, or the scene where Hanna asked Allie what her scar was from, I really thought she was going to say. I really, really thought she was going to tell her what it was.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we're about to find out something so good. And we moved right along.
yeah.
That's what
Almost
makes
cried.
it exciting, though. Like leaves us on the edge of our seats.
Literally.
I like it.
I mean, they could give us a break every once in a while. I mean, let's be
could,
real
they
for
could.
real.
They did well. Okay, moving on. Sorry.
All right, Christina Quack maybe writes, truth be told, I don't want any of these girls to be innocent. Hannah stealing makes me want to see what else she has up her sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want her to be bad.
You just want everyone to be bad,
I
don't you,
know.
girl? Bad.
No, I mean, I can definitely agree with you. I can definitely agree with that. Plus, we've kind of seen a little bit of bad in all of them, too,
Yeah,
which is...
and we know at this point none of them are innocent.
No.
So many lies, killing people. They're just
Cheating.
bad girls, but we love them because there's a sense of relatability about them that, you know, we can all humanize. And how am I preaching up here? What am I saying? You hear what I'm saying? We can relate to all of them for sure.
Yeah, that's hysterical. But I agree. You guys, I can't.
It's my turn tonight. I'm not making any sense.
No, I definitely agree with you, though. Honestly, I do agree with you. Yes. Meghan, that was just so much passion.
Do you do your speech at the church after the
I
ladies?
practice. I really practice, guys. I practice that one in the mirror.
No, but honestly, though, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think any of them are innocent. Meghan, you're absolutely right.
Shut up,
And we
you
all
guys.
secretly want them all to be bad because it's fun to watch people that are bad. If no one was bad on this show, there would be no plots and there would be nothing to watch. It'd be a bunch of people getting along in high school, which nobody wants to see.
Right, you can watch a different show for that.
Yes.
Definitely. But this is exactly what I wanted, honestly,
Yes.
you guys. I
Yes.
wanted this to start revealing some things, and I can feel it in here. I can feel it literally. I can feel you guys through the camera, just starting to get some sort of. I feel like, honestly, let me just say this: we are all so hyped up tonight, and it might just be
Yes.
because there's a holiday weekend coming up. Who knows? But this was a great
I think it's
way.
because the episode was so good.
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was.
We have not talked so little through an episode. I feel like since we started the show.
Yeah, this
we
was
were
a good way.
excited
This
to
was a
watch
good way to
it.
set up episode
100.
509.
You guys tweet us. What should we do next week to make it
Yeah,
special?
tell us.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to see next week? It's the 100th episode. I think we all have to freaking celebrate because Caleb is back in action. So
Yes.
that's why I'm celebrating. So you guys, please keep tweeting #PLLAS. You guys can tweet us all. We are all online all the time. We even will be online on the 4th of July. I guarantee it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So just keep tweeting us. Let us know your theories. Let us know more about what you thought about this episode, and let us
How
know
do you want us to celebrate?
Yeah,
How
let
do
us
you
know
want us
how
to
you guys want to
celebrate?
see this. All of us get together and really celebrate Pretty Little Liars because we love doing this with you. So we look forward to it. Our Twitters, of course. Our Twitters. Ashley got an Instagram. Hey! #peer pressure. Anyways, I am at Sinead de Vries on Twitter and Instagram. Ashley?
I am at Ashley Mova on Twitter and Instagram, thanks to the peer pressure of last
Yay.
week.
There you go. Get it,
Join the
girl.
millennium.
You're welcome.
See you guys next week.
I am at Meg Lamontagne, and keep talking to us because we absolutely love hearing all of your theories. Thanks, guys.
And I'm Stephanie L. Gray on Twitter and Instagram. And yes, our job for the rest of the night is to answer tweets.
Yeah, and they just keep getting, it's just awesome. It's great to see such wonderful theories and you guys really reaching out. So just don't stop doing it because we get so excited every single time. So 100th episode next week. We're freaking stoked. Clearly you can tell because we're laughing our asses off. Entire show, literally. But great episode. I feel like we can all just
Sleep
relish
well.
in
yes.
the PLL wonder tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Are we gasping? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Hello.
Tradition, guys. Here we
right.
go.
See you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
1, 2, 3.